Welcome to HASSCAST. This is the host, Mike Hass here. This is a podcast where I do a film review in the beginning, go a little bit into entertainment industry news, then I review a couple new songs, mainstream or underground, music songs, and then we go into a little bit of rap news and stuff like that. Then in the end, we'll do a nostalgia case, talking about an old film that I really enjoy. This is on YouTube and Spotify and Apple, so definitely, if you're listening on a podcast platform, download, leave a rating. Check me out on Instagram at Mike Media Incorporated, INC. And then, you know how it is. Let's jump right into it. Before we jump right into it, though, I want to shout out Mormon, frequent, guest on the show. He's been on it twice on HASSCAST and HASSCAST, actually. Just check out his beats on Instagram and stuff like that. And if you mess with that music. Also, shouts out to Lakeith Stanfield, a great actor, and I've seen him grow a lot since Get Out. Truly. And we're gonna be talking about his performance in this film that we're gonna be reviewing that just came out. This film is Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, this stars Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. Actually, both Get Out actors. Great film. Now, that was a film directed by Jordan Peele. Directorial debut. One of the greatest directorial debuts. And its cultural relevancy is very present in the way it applies to things in society. Now, we're going to be taking a trip down to the, late 60s, early 70s, and with Judas and the Black Messiah, we will see a sort of point of view of Black Panther Party members, and we will see them sort of have a lot of people who they can't trust, a lot of people that they can trust, because a gentleman in the film is he gets arrested for something, and then he ends up being offered a plea deal by the FBI to be an informant. So he's basically sort of coerced into being an informant in the Black Panther Party, and he rises up the ranks, gains the trust, sort of gives information. And this was not the only case of that. I've actually, if you read the book Chaos, a book about Charles Manson, there was a lot of this that went down, a lot of corrupt police officers who would try to sort of infiltrate these social justice and civil rights organizations at the time. And this was kind of like a sort of horrible thing that they were doing to these sort of communities, because these sort of civil rights activist groups aren't really that violent. They're really only violent when it comes to responding to sort of people who don't like they don't like their change and stuff like that. So they're really trying to build and help their community, these organizations and stuff like that. So they're constantly being brought down by the local police departments and stuff like that. So this film is really trying to kind of offer a different perspective on the Black Panther Party and how they're really trying to help their the communities, and make it more about making sure everything's funded properly. And also they formed a rainbow coalition with other disenfranchised group of people. One of the group of people was actually there's a group of Latina immigrants who were being not really treated the best in sort of bad areas of Chicago. It's all set in Chicago. And also a group of Appalachian southern farmers who were being sort of not being offered the proper opportunities for employment in the city. So we get to see how it's not really they're really trying to unite sort of a groups of disenfranchised people for the better, all led by the character that Daniel Kaluuya plays in the film. Lakeith Stanfield being the informant, you really get to see him. I feel like with all informant stories, you get to see him sort of like maybe sort of allying himself with the one who he's told to be against and stuff like that. And I feel like what's even haunting is that this all kind of happens sort of during this story is told kind of through like a sort of interview type of thing done for a documentary in the late 80s. So after the documentary premieres, the I don't know, this is kind of like, this isn't a spoiler because this is like true story. So the informant character kills himself, and like when the documentary premieres, showing the information, stuff like that. I have to say this is kind of a sort of conspiracy theory thing. This isn't really a conspiracy theory thing. This is proof of a conspiracy, because this all really happened. The government really did assassinate a high-ranking member in the Black Panther parties for no reason, like because he's trying to help the community and stuff like that. I definitely recommend checking this out. It's a really good piece of history. If you're sort of into that whole civil rights things, and how you really want to learn a piece of history and have it be sort of thrilling, and also like it's actually a really thrilling movie. It's not like a shitty, they're trying to rub the politics down your face. Like, it's actually like well paced. There's cool suspense. The villain, the sort of villainous characters are actually really well done, and there's no one bad guy and there's no one good guy. There's a lot of people that you can trust and cannot trust. So every character is pretty fleshed out and memorable and stuff like that, and you really get to dissect a small fraction of American history that I never thought I'd really check out without checking out this film. So check out Judas and the Black Messiah ASAP. In theaters and on HBO Max. Yeah, I really messed with it. I'm gonna give it a rewatchable. I feel like I would watch it down the line or something like that, because I'm just a big Lakeith Stanfield fan. He was in Knives Out and Uncut Gems. Yeah, and Get Out, of course. But he's always been in something great all the time. He's always in something awesome. Really, like he never stops being something amazing. I just can't get enough of Lakeith Stanfield's films. Anytime he ever does something, I'm always checking it out. Really. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Giving it a rewatchable on the watchability scale. So definitely check this out when you can. All right. So let's get into some entertainment industry news. Actor, comedian, podcaster Chris D'Elia is back. So this guy had certain allegations to him, and what he basically explained is that all these allegations are false, all his relationships are consensual and stuff like that. But what he did come forth with, which is actually surprising and shocking, is that he is sort of taking advantage of his status in the entertainment industry by sort of having relationships with lots of fans and stuff like that maybe he shouldn't be having, and sort of would be considered unloyal in a relationship. And he actually admits to cheating on his fiance that he's having a child with. So that's pretty big information. But what I'm glad that is he's trying to come forth with this information, and I feel like what they could label this is sex addiction or something like that. But what I do see is that he's trying to be transparent with his fans who haven't seen him in almost a year do anything really. Yeah. So I'm hope to see his podcast up again. Big fan. I bought the merch. I might even do a video detailing everything if I get the chance. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm down for a silly goose time, because that's what his podcast really is. It's a silly goose time, and I'm totally down to just watch more episodes of it. If he does that, if he's like gonna put this out and not do anything, like, come on, like, maybe he just wants to be like, oh, I'm alive, but I don't know. But it's kind of sucked to see all his comedian friends kind of like be like, oh, I wasn't friends with him, and delete all the posts with him. Really, they're just like making a couple statements because they don't want to be aligned with someone who's had allegations to them. It's like, really, come on, you were friends. Like, yeah, that's all I got to say about the Chris D'Elia situation. I'm just a huge fan. I'm glad to see him being transparent with his fans and getting back into work. The East Wind is a song by Ammon, and this is an artist, and he had this song out produced by Judas, and it's a pretty fire song. Let me play a little snippet of it so you can get a gist of what the song's like. So, obviously I've already listened to the song before, but what I am hearing is this sort of, string instrument being played, and it's just like actually an excellently sort of hopeful song that I really mess with. It's a very hopeful song. The tone is good, everything in the background is very good, and the percussion is totally on point, and Nadaj goes really ham with the production. I'd say the vocals later, I really didn't like how they were sort of performed and stuff like that, but I do sort of appreciate the energy of the beat, and it's kind of like One Way Flight, Over the Limit by Benny the Butcher or something like that, mixed with like some sort of hopeful Just Blaze type of track, and then it has the sort of percussion that a Bones track would have, where it's kind of meshing up a lot of different things. And I like long string instruments being played in the song, and I really appreciate the way it was done. Let's vibe out to this for the next 30 seconds. Fuck who you are, looking like another color. Never trusted all since it's cool to start telling. Now I got the bag in for you bitches asking, multitasking, acting like a salesman rolling. Multitasking, acting like a salesman. That's my favorite line off the track, because when you got to juggle so many different things, multitasking is a skill that is heavily overlooked. You gotta know how to do that shit, really. Post your depression online, I don't care. Shut the fuck up, this life isn't fair. They need you to die like a jungle out here. 808's on point, really. Like, the background melody is so simple. It works. That's one of those simplistic melodies that really works on that beat. And I can't hate for it. I really can't hate on that. Shouts out to Ammon. You'll see an article on Splash Bakery about him soon. Right for that website. Definitely check the song The East Wind out now. Now we're going to check out that sxmpra. Man, you know how this goes. All songs from this get added to the playlist, because this is genuinely a great piece of work. sxmpra, and actually I heard from a friend of mine that his music is being played by a 90-year-old. My friend saw a 90-year-old listening to sxmpra, okay? So he sort of brings this dark, evil, sort of haunting energy to this, and he self-produces everything, right? You sort of, you don't see this from a lot of sxmpra's songs, but you see the sort of dark tone of voice from him. You don't get that a lot. You really get the high-pitched, fast rap voice. This is like not really seen a lot by him, and I respect that he's showing this side of himself, a more slow sort of. Now the beats aren't slow, but the melodies are slow. They're not as fast paced. They're really spacey. They're really haunting. It's like you're stepping in some sort of abandoned church looking for some ancient scroll to remove a curse off of an evil villain terrorizing your town or something like that. And like, you know what I mean? It's that level of thing. And there's a killer on the loose or some shit like that. That's how it feels. I really feel like I'm rambling right now, but I'm saying that because it has this sort of really distinct energy that sxmpra, he's not just going to be putting out a banger. He's trying to put out an energy with this type of stuff. And look at the little thing right here. He's really, like, sxmpra, good artists always try and downplay their talent. This is a collection of songs I've compiled over a month or so. Enjoy. He knows, I don't know if he knows this, but these songs, they sound distinct. They don't sound the same, but they have the same energy, and it works to the point where each track has something different, but the energy is still the same. And everything, the delivery is always on point with sxmpra, and I definitely recommend checking out Vendetta by sxmpra. Let's vibe to Misfit.
Hey, I'm Jordan.
Oh my god, these advertisements, I swear to god. Like, why? This is why I don't like SoundCloud a lot. I still use SoundCloud, but these damn ads, you know. It's coming up soon. 3. You know what I mean? It's like what? Oh no, the alarm's on or some bullshit. Like, it's like you're trapped in like some hidden facility. A riser. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Okay, so Jack Harlow, we got some news, rap news. Jack Harlow and Drewski. Like, I didn't make this post, but like, let's just show a funny clip of Jack Harlow and Drewski because they're funny as shit.
What is up with the fouling, and why would you say you're fouling so much out here?
You are so fine, bro.
Other than that, I'd like to ask you about the game, man. You're really persistent. You're a great guy. What are you looking at, man? You're a great guy, man. You're out here. You're working hard. Your team's working hard. What do you have to say about
it? He's the funniest guy.
Sorry, I get so nervous when I talk to you, bro. My fault. It's far from.
We got 24K golden, man. So inspirational.
You know, it's physical. That's the type of game we like with physical players. I just wish you were playing, dog, so I could guard you.
I think we're going to go ahead and kick it to somebody else now. I don't know what you... What the hell type of interview is that?
What the hell type of interview is that? Alright, now listen to the commentators on this game. I don't know what type of game. This might be like an all-star game, but this is just funny as hell.
Oh, I told you the fight was going to happen. I told you. Somebody owes me $100.
Somebody owes me $100. That's 24K golden right there.
Somebody owes me $100.
There have not been any punches thrown, I don't think.
On the first game.
But there were some.
Where is number 8? He is getting the scrap out the car right now.
And they're coming closer.
White on white violence at an all-time high.
White on white violence at all-time high. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Alright, so we're gonna do a nostalgia case. Roll it. Okay, so Dog Day Afternoon is a film from the 1970s and stars Al Pacino and I forget that guy's name. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie. John Cazale. Yeah, John Cazale. I remembered it. But nah. So Al Pacino does a really poorly planned bank robbery, and it's a real big sort of robbery type of thing going on. So the thing about this bank robbery is that there's police all over the place. It's horribly planned, and there's a lot of like speeches in the middle of the street and stuff like that. It would be a really good play. Like if everything was sort of staged correctly or some shit. But it's all kind of compact on one location, and that's the bank and stuff like that. And Al Pacino tries to get money for gender change surgery for his husband, and yeah, so it's like a lot of, there's that element to it as well, but there's also the veteran element, the Vietnam War veteran did that as element to that as well. And you know what's cool about it though is that since they're all like kind of trapped in the bank waiting, and it's kind of like a siege because they can't really just run out, right? Or the cops will shoot them. And then it's kind of like the Breakfast Club. And I know this came out before that, obviously, but it's sort of like the Breakfast Club because they're all kind of trapped in there. They can't get out. So they're kind of just sitting there, like, ordering pizzas and stuff like that, like, waiting to be, like, finding a way to escape with the hostages and stuff like that. And the way they become friends with the hostages is crazy. But the ending is, like, it's a big ending, you know? And it's pretty perfectly set up between everybody. And it's like these 70s crime dramas, mainly character-based, not action-based, are really like my favorite type of films, really. Like, in terms of old films, because, like, I'm not the one to say all new movies suck, but they sort of had that creative freedom at the time where they could do that. You know? They had the creative freedom to do that. The studios will let them do that. Like, everything wasn't sort of pushed out like a factory, like where everything's done the same way and stuff like that. There was a lot more creativity back then, stuff like that. So, yeah, man, like I really dig the way this film was like written and all that, and how it's all based on a true story. But this makes me want to check out like Serpico too as well, and 12 Angry Men. I don't know if that they're the same director. They might be the same director. I mean, Sidney Lumet, whatever. Like, I don't know what to... Yeah, he did do that. He did do that film as well. But yeah, like, I love these old directors and all these films that they've done and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's all we got for HASSCAST. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll be casting out my thoughts to you on the next HASSCAST.